Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip, whose hair is in place and in perfection. Look at that. Look at that. So check this out. Brad Garlinghouse in the hot seat, and David Schwartz apparently is going to resign his commission and become a full-time comedian.
I like it. Sounds totally plausible.
Very plausible. There's a new bill that's going to hand the Treasury a blank check to ban crypto, according to one article. And then we've got this whole long discussion that's going to get into America Competes Act, tear it apart. You're ready to go, ready to kick this thing off. XRP, baby.
Welcome to On the Chain.
On the chain,
Welcome.
people. Welcome to On the Chain, people.
On the chain.
People. It's on the chain.
It is.
You know, just when you don't think it can get any weirder or crazier or oppressive, it always seems to get a little bit more weirder and stranger and oppressive. I mean, it's like tonight's no different. It's bizarre.
It is very bizarre. The anti-crypto city of New York. That's where One Eye Willie is tuning in from. And there's some crazy things.
Oh, but wait a minute. But Jeff, we were told the mayor's going to get 3 paychecks in Bitcoin.
3 whole paychecks, and they're not paid directly in Bitcoin. They're actually paid to him, and then he's converting them into Bitcoin, the way I hear it. Because the state is not allowed to pay him in a digital asset. So
the whole thing is just a ruse.
The whole thing is a ruse, you know, and it's so silly. It's like, I'm going to take all my paycheck and I'm going to invest it. Okay, good for you. Good job.
All my money, I will send
to
you. That's the Beatles, by the way, in case you're wondering.
Bob Moneybags.
Hey, Bob Moneybags in here. Good job last night, brother. We put you on. You guys had the reunion for the zoo last night. Of course, I couldn't tune in live because doing the show. But we were
streaming, Bob. But we actually brought you in.
Brought you guys in.
For the first time ever, we were live streaming a live stream. It was very cool. Very, very cool, good. Except you guys had no audio at that point.
Well, that's because you guys don't need to use StreamYard. I need to get you hooked up on that, Bob. So DM me and I'll get you hooked up. And that way you never have problems. Remember all those problems we used to have, Jeff? Like it didn't work and this didn't happen. And the mic. This one, you just click a button and you're going. That live. That's it. There's no mystery, no weirdness, no oddities.
Our YouTube icon says playback is unavailable. I don't know what that's all about.
I don't know what that's about either, but it might be something. You might have to refresh your app if you're looking on the phone, but
not 100%.
Playback on what? On other videos? This video just started, man.
Let's play it back.
We just got started here.
Start all over again. Start from the beginning.
All right, let's start from the beginning, Jeff. Jeff, we got to tear this thing apart. This whole thing, you know, one guy that I do like. Yeah, dude, you're going to love it, man. You are absolutely going to love it without a doubt.
Rob is saying my last paycheck just turned into crypto as well.
Of course. Well, Rob McDermott he needs no introduction. He is like the king of crypto. He knows what he's doing. He's a seasoned vet. We've had meetups where we hung with him. I think he's been to every one of our meetup, bar none. I think we did 3 of them. I think Rob was all 3 of them. So that's how we got to know him a little bit. And that's what's going to be cool about, you know, with our what are we calling this? A digital meetup? So weird.
It's a digital meetup.
I'll tell you what we should call it. The poor man's metaverse, what we ought to call it. What we ought to call it.
It's gonna be epic.
Well, there's like these tables and chairs
that
you click one, you sit at the table, and then boom, you come up on the screen. Mm-hmm. It's like, you know, it's like the metaverse, but not, you know, one of those types.
This was the pre-metaverse. We actually founded the pre-metaverse.
The pre-metaverse.
We didn't actually.
Nobody wants to be. Even if we did
or found anything, but
Jeff. Even if we did found the pre-metaverse, I don't think we want that on a resume. I mean, like, yeah, we founded the pre-metaverse. What did that look like? You'd be like, oh.
Not
everything
so good. That's happening, all the cool stuff that happened before the metaverse. That's the pre-metaverse.
You'll be like, not so much. But let's talk about this. Let's roll right into this. As I always like to say,
XRP Hollywood said he saw a Bitcoin ATM at the convenience store. Imagine if you see a Bitcoin ATM in the metaverse. Now we're talking.
I walk right by it. Just like that guy he said, he goes, I was hanging out. We were in the metaverse. And there was nothing to do.
Nothing to do.
Now, if you go to the metaverse and you go to a rave, you can actually buy Bitcoin. Be like, what'd you do? I went to a rave. How was it? I bought some Bitcoin.
It was awesome.
There was an ATM machine there. I bought a little XRP. Well, you could have done that on your couch. I know, but I was in the metaverse. You know, I had the cool goggles on.
It was so much cooler. So much cooler. I was paying gas fees to hang out in the Ethereum metaverse.
Now, I'm going to tell you, so we're going to break down a tweet thread by none other than Jerry Brito. This is Jerry Brito. Jerry right here is the executive director of Coin Center, a DC-based crypto think tank. And this is one organization that does a lot of good for crypto. I'm a little bit, I sometimes worry about the other one, the Blockchain Association. I know they're doing their best, but they're all like sunshine and roses and unicorns and everything's fine, Jeff. But I don't know. It's like, now Jerry, look at that. Don't mess with Jerry Brito, man. He's going to
looks
look
pretty
right
tough,
there.
especially with that yellow background.
Yeah, that yellow background's sweet. So look at this right here. Jerry Brito at Jerry Brito. He's like, important. Included in the America Competes Act, just introduced in the House, and which will very likely pass in some form, is a provision that would be disastrous, not only for the cryptocurrency, but for privacy and due process generally. What are your thoughts on that, Jeff? Just on its head right there.
All you have to do is highlight disastrous, and that's exactly what I think. I mean, that's
says it all. Jeff's gonna pull out the disastrous.
I'm gonna double down on disastrous, and then we've got it all summarized.
Let me highlight this word right here, because if you're going to do anything, you're just missing a knot. America doesn't compete. They always will name these bills the opposite of what they are.
Making America not great again.
Like the green bill, there was nothing in about green. It was like 7% of the green bill, but it was all about other things. So this one here is about America competes. And what are they going to do? Well,
they're not going to compete.
Not going to compete. So there you go. So here it is right there.
That's probably why it's called the America Competes Act. It's the exact opposite. It's opposite. This has been like opposite year.
Right. Everything's opposite. Just like
the guy you didn't expect to win won. You know, the things that you didn't expect to happen in the United States happen.
Or around the world, you could say the same thing, Jeff. This is a global phenomenon. It's not just isolated to the United States.
That's true. Australia is a good example of things. Canada, you know, the exact opposite of what I expected to happen is this, all the truckers that are,
I was going to say that, Jeff. If you know anything about Canada, those truckers, you do not want to mess with them. They set the world record for the longest convoy. Dude, we got ourselves a convoy. 10-4, good buddy. You know, I mean, those guys were strong. I saw videos. Title II, prohibitish. What the heck is that word, Jeff?
Oh, and things that you did expect to happen. Neil Young got wrecked and kicked off Spotify.
One of the most glorious.
Said, see ya.
Yeah, it was somebody said, well, he's listed as like number 780 on the Spotify list. And that was just phenomenal. I mean, those are things we probably would talk about here, but we really shouldn't talk about it here.
No, but it was
Title II, prohibitions or conditions on certain transmittals of funds. Congress finds the following. 1, Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, FinCEN, is the financial intelligence unit of the United States tasked with, I got to probably blow this up because I think we're missing something here.
Safeguarding the...
oh, no, it actually just
safeguarding the...
It just died. It died, Jeff.
The FA.
Come on, Jerry. Please, Jerry. Really.
The FA.
But I look at this right here. So thank you for that. EC 2189. It's America's Gets Beat Act. Whoops. Wrong label. Yeah, or it gets his ass beat.
That's the funniest cutoff right there. The United States tasked with safeguarding the FA.
I think it's FITS.
Financial.
You see right here, EC 2189. You see it's FITS. I see it's FITS. America's Get Beat Act. Whoops. Wrong label.
Oh, I see.
See what I mean? It's like, that's what it was. I think it was like right at the end.
Oh my God.
So Jerry's on it. He's getting on a roll right now. Okay. He's he's just opening up, starting to get going. He's like the so-called special measures provision proposed by this dude right here, which is Jahims. That's Jim Hines. I don't know who he is. He's a Connecticut congressman. Do we need to say anything more?
No.
So proposed by Congressman Hines would essentially give the Treasury Secretary unchecked unilateral power to ban exchanges and other financial institutions from engaging in cryptocurrency transactions.
That's a perfect bill. What a great bill.
Because that's what you like doing, giving unchecked power to unelected officials. What could go wrong, Jeff? All right?
Nothing, absolutely nothing. You might even get a Gary Gensler and Jr. running around over there at the Treasury. Oh wait, you've got Janet Yellen over there running around at the Secretary, Treasury of the Secretary. So, oh my God, could you imagine Janet Yellen with unchecked unilateral power to do whatever the hell she wants to do, and then she's got Elizabeth Warren and Gary Gensler, they're all palling around. Imagine them out late at night, drinking, doing shots, talking about how they're going to, demonize and crush corporate America.
Yeah, well, that's kind of how it works, Jeff. So
yes,
if we look at this, and I guess this is it. We're not going to get into it. We learned our lesson on the last panel. And then the third one is Bank Secrecy Act 5318A allows the secretary, why don't we just call it what it is, Yellen, to identify a primary money laundering concern. Jeff, I've just identified this. So I've just identified a primary laundering concern. Oh, what is it? That's all you have to do. You only have to identify it. Doesn't have to be real. And take special measures to one, require financial institutions to report information on the concern. 2, prohibit financial institutions from maintaining accounts related to the concern.
And what's the concern?
We don't know what the concern is. You just identify. Hey, I've identified a concern. Well, that concern doesn't exist. Doesn't matter. Identified.
I'm very concerned. This is my primary concern. It might not be yours.
This is another version of the straw man. Number 4, we've got special measures. Authority is vast power that the Secretary of the Treasury has today. So in the current statute, there are checks on that power. First, the law requires that the Treasury engage in a public rulemaking before instituting prohibition. Second, the Secretary can impose a surveillance special measure through a simple order, but its duration is limited to 120 days and must be accompanied by public rulemaking.
Which makes sense. So that's kind of what exists right now, right?
Yeah. While not full due process, these limitations at least alert the public, gives the public some opportunity to comment on special measures, merit, or constitutionality. Now, Jeff, let me just replace this word right here. Alert the public. This is we, the people. These are the voting class. These are the serfs. We are the serfs. We are just living in this world. And we go like, hey, I know you're supposed to represent me, but can I just get a word in edgewise?
And how do you like that too? To at least alert them.
To at least a bare minimum, just alert them, giving them some heads up so that the serfs can like storm the castle and get slaughtered. So there you go. On that
before you go on, so Josh was bringing up a good point here. Gentlemen, how do we square this with Yellen's deputy secretary, Wally Adeyemo, who said they were not coming after crypto? First of all, I kind of get stuck up on Wally. Remember Wally World?
Yes. You have to reverse that statement. It's exactly the opposite.
It's opposite.
When Fed Chair Powell came out and said, we're very serious about considering issuing a CBDC, but our utmost priority is privacy. Wow, Jeff. That's all I have to say is wow. I mean, like, okay, that sounds great, but I'm a little bit worried that you shined a bright light on that coming out of the gate. So
that's right. And Legendary saying I'm a professional surf. So there you
go. Professional surfer. You got to put the on the end. We're surfs. So let's go truck on here. So number 7, the new provision would do 3 things. First, it would add certain transmittal of funds to the list of things that can be banned by the secretary. Can you believe this?
I can't believe the Treasury Secretary would have that kind of power. I mean, this is unchecked. This is unparalleled, unmatched in today's day and age. I mean, this idea of giving the Treasury Secretary it's absurd at this point. I mean, whatever, you're anticipating then that you have this brilliant mind. And as we know, you don't necessarily attract the best and the brightest. So
look at this right here, Jeff. This is Terjar Olson. A call to action is needed. We all need to contact the U.S. Congress via the John Deaton website, as these public officials need to know their jobs are on the line. So let them know. I could not agree. That's a perfect statement. And again, this is how you get your voice heard. If you're sitting on the sideline doing nothing, then you're on the wrong sideline. You need to get on the sideline of action. You need to get on the sideline of, hey, getting your voice heard. Yeah, collectively, one person, hey, you don't like this. Okay, but when you have 65,000 people saying, hey,
it gets a little bit loud.
And if you don't think those 65,000 people who have either, whether it's an email, a phone call, a letter to Congress, this is why do you think all of this shuffle is going on about crypto right now? A lot of it has to do with one thing, because you're making your voice heard. That's what it comes down to. Number 2, eliminate all public notice and comment requirements. So what do you think? We're going to eliminate all that. Yeah, but I have a question. Sorry, sucker.
Sorry, that's been eliminated.
It's been eliminated. By who?
Your voice has been squished.
By your representative.
Squashed.
By your representative, yeah. And then 3, eliminate the 120-day limitation for measures imposed without regulation.
How do you like that?
Doesn't sound good, Jeff. I'll be honest with you. It doesn't sound great.
It's insane. At least with the 120, people know, hey, you know what? We'll get through the next months, and we'll figure it out. Now it's like, hey, this could be going on forever. There's no public notice because that's supposed to be at a minimum. No comment. It can go on forever. They can destroy and crush and ban transmittal funds at the will of the secretary, of the Treasury Secretary. I mean, you're entering into, and Putin came out and said, you know what, the U.S. is turning into the USSR.
Putin's onto something, okay? And he's also coming out and saying some stuff about some misleading information that was published out there about Bitcoin in Russia. He actually thinks quite the contrary. We'll see if we get into that as well. But this whole idea, this is what a lot of critique and criticism has come to Chair Gensler's path, is because he doesn't allow 120 days. And this is one of the things they're trying to change. So they're just trying to, let's squash it just in the next bill we put out there. So there it is right there. Formal requirements, none, section, blah, 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 blah. Okay. If adopted into law, this provision would be disaster, not only for crypto, but for privacy and democratic public process related to all types of financial transactions.
100%, which is also the terrifying idea that, they're really, keen on pushing through the digital dollar, and really, one of the pushback, the resistant measure to the Fed in their proposal, and even the Fed identified privacy concerns. They threw it out there with a digital representation of the dollar, and here you're seeing it's almost like circumventing all of the common sense doctrine and the constitutionality of everything. They're circumventing it to just put the power in the hands of the few. And now, before you could say, hey, what, the individuals that have a lot of money, maybe the power is in their hands because they can push and lobby, but there's action and work that goes into lobbying efforts. In this scenario, you have an unelected official that's just making decisions at whim, and now the power is truly in the hands of the few, and who knows what happens after this.
Yeah, I think we kind of know what could possibly happen. Number 9, it empowers the secretary to prohibit any or indeed all cryptocurrency transactions or any other kind of transaction without any process, rulemaking, limitation, or duration of the prohibition. What? 10, this provision was first introduced as an amendment to the National Defense Authorization Act last year by the same representative. And you know what happened? That got tossed out. This is why he's running up the stairs, Jeff, because a group of crypto nerds are chasing him up the stairs right there. You don't see the mob.
He's got to warm up.
Jim Himes. So Jim Himes just not. And remember that I do remember that they put something in that they snuck this in. This is what they're always doing. They're always really sneaky. They're sneaking this little thing in the side, another little thing. Sneaky. They do a bill about like this, the National Defense Authorization Act, and then they put the fun little tidbits, the pork that they want to put in there for, and it's not even, remember it used to be pork, which just was spending for your hometown, your home state. Like we need this, we need a road, we need, right? It was pork. That's what they used to call it. They've gone beyond pork. This is just insanity what they're doing now.
Oh yeah. Now it's gone. It's, reached a whole new level of, it's now an epidemic.
Control, Jeff. That's what centralization is bad. So why would people be like, well, how do you think about CBDCs? Yes, CBDCs on their face, inherently not good or bad. But in a centralized sort of control, that's what, look at the first word, C, central. Centralized is bad. And then, the whole idea of privacy is always going to come up. But this is sort of human nature. It happens it's not a political thing. It's just that when people get a little bit of power, go a little bit crazy. And then they go like, then they'll let, well, you know what? Why don't we just do this? That's not so bad. Yeah. And then if we do just do this, next thing you know, it's full blown, you know what? So after alerting folks in the House and the Senate of what the amendment unintended consequences, it was removed from the final bill that passed. Unfortunately, it's back verbatim without any improvements. Now he's talking about the last bill, right? So they exited out the last bill. They try to sneak it into this bill.
They did, it really, it's troublesome, because these individuals somehow have spent, long periods of time getting elected into office and enriching themselves. And, and someone in here threw up a little while ago in the comment, they said, absolute power corrupts absolutely. And we're kind of seeing that happen, firsthand. We're seeing exactly what happens with that type of corruption. And, then you see, the outcome, and the outcome is disastrous, and people are really suffering and struggling, on a large scale. And, we have to consider, the economic ramification, the financial ramification of what's happening. And, from a, general sense, it's bad. And then you kind of focus back into crypto, and you see what, the disastrous impact that it can have in the crypto space. And, Chip, you and I talked about the other day, that the administration is going to try to pass executive orders on cryptocurrency. So they're attacking on all levels.
What could go wrong?
Throwing in useless, right? What can go wrong? They're attacking us at the state levels, at the city levels. They're attacking us, at the federal level. They're attacking the financials. They're trying to push through things through executive order. You have to be very, aware and cognizant on all levels.
Absolutely. And EC 2189 says, we went from pork to whale, no more bacon. No bacon for you. Exactly. And it says it strips out all, look at this. It strips out all administrative process and duration limits on the secretary's power to condition or prohibit transactions at financial institutions associated with primary money laundering concerns. So this is what it goes back to in the very beginning of the thread, where you just identify, Jeff, I've identified something. What is it? Well, I've identified there's a problem with money laundering. Well, can you show it to me? I've identified it. So now you got to go ahead and see, it's this whole like straw argument, as it always is. Yeah, you're doing this. They did this. They're doing this. Who is they there? Build this whole straw man around it. And they did it. Well, who's they? Doesn't matter. It's like, so prohibiting transactions at a financial institution, you no longer, because now the funniest part about this whole thing is there's always institutions out there that will get fined for doing the exact same thing, but they're not going to fall under the same sort of ruling, right? They're a little bit different. So they're not going to fall under this. And all I'm saying is that if you're going to do it for one sector, it ought to be a global sector instead of just singling out crypto. Time to call your member of Congress, ask that they take action to make sure the notice and comment and duration limitations are not removed from 31 USC 5318A as the America Competes Act would do. So and I always find these types of bills that end up becoming law the most dangerous kind, because what they do is they strip out existing regulation or potential, something that took a long time to come together on in Congress, and just disintegrates it. It's like, oh no, that doesn't exist anymore. So it's a very good thinking right there. I thought that was really well put together, Jerry. Nice job.
Yeah, great job, Jerry. Outstanding.
It was a very good thing. And then there was
doing that. Yeah, let's do Before we get back into that, let me pull this up because it's just kind of a little bit of levity in the in the middle of all the seriousness. But this is David Schwartz going full comedian.
Let's do it.
I think he's going to resign as. So check this out. This is pretty good, and I think this is right up your alley. I heard that Bill Gates' son was in math class, and when the teacher asked if anyone could count to 10, he raised his hand and said 1, 2, 3, 3.1, 95, 98, ME, 2000, XP, Vista, 7, 8, 10.
Masterfully done too, Jeff, because it was weird that they skipped 9. It must have been totally disastrous.
Yeah, and that's it. It was kind of funny. You go in right. There was no 99 either.
Oh, yeah. There was a
95, 98, no 99. It went to ME and then 2000.
Yeah,
that was kind of strange. But the funny part are some of the comments here. I like that. If Ripple Microsoft partnership confirmed. David Schwartz like confirmed.
Confirmed. Doesn't matter. You could loosely talk about it. It's talk about Microsoft. That's it.
It's great. It's great. I always wondered why they went from Windows 8 to 10 and skipped 9. Maybe it was because Windows 8 was so terrible that they just skipped 9 altogether. The reason I bought a Mac.
Now, hang on a second. Let's go back there. And Anders, I've always had high regard for Anders L. Now I have even more high regard because once you go Mac, you never go back. It is superior in every fashion. Take it from somebody who works on a PC all day. I can tell you that firsthand. David
Schwartz, you're like a software update. Every time someone sees you, they think, "Oh man, not now."
Yeah, no. And as we got into memory talk, then he was doing the whole thing. There you go. They were doing the whole thing with Clippy. That Clippy was the weirdest thing ever, dude. And it took forever to get that out of there. Clippy,
man,
a dancing paperclip.
Then the paperclip was awesome. I heard they brought it back. I love.
Well, there's Cortana now, so there's always that. Look at this.
Ben Armstrong. Oh, wait, that's different tweets. I like this. How great is this? We asked and we got. I was cracking up. Come on, do something.
Do something. Hit him with the stick.
Stick.
Poke him with a stick. Hit him. Do something.
My god, this is probably Brad put together the funniest thing. It's hilarious.
That's what I love about it. Sometimes the comments are way more fun. You have to have the main thing that people are ripping off of, but the riffs are just phenomenal.
Here you go. Hassan Al-Nazi says, ME for home users, XP, major release, successor, Vista, a mental scan of the future partnership with Microsoft. XRP will be relisted in the U.S. pump and dump from now till March, in which XRP will flip ETH by hitting 10. There you go. People are really, look at this.
That was one of the greatest things ever. Destroyed that guy. Gave him a super head start, and he just blew by him.
Oh man, these are great. You got to appreciate the comedy. How many castles does your family own?
Oh
my gosh. And it was hilarious. But look at that. You got Robert Morris. You got I thought I saw some. There were a whole bunch of people from the on the chain community that were commenting throughout this. It was great. It was awesome. How funny is that?
Why stripped out one of my tweets that I wanted to get into, man. That bums me out. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know, man. I don't know. So, Jeff, we talked about this very thing on here a bunch of times, and I think it actually may be happening here. But Charles Hoskinson, founder of ADA, he comes out in Cardano, known as Cardano. He says, if I set up a blockchain pack, who would volunteer and donate? Wow, Jeff. So he's looking at potentially setting up a crypto pack. We talked about that. You got name recognition here.
I think we need to reach out to Charles.
And people don't know what PAC means. It means Political Action Committee. And what does that translate to? Lobbying. What does that translate into? Getting in the ear of everybody in Congress and doing this. Bing. It's like, hey, can I tell you a secret? Yeah, what is it? Bing. Just flipping their ear.
And it's money.
And it's money. You raise a lot of money. You create a political action committee. And then you go to Washington. You hire people. And they just pound the senators, the House members all day long with, you're going to do what we want, or
Yeah, I
we're
like
going to
it.
vote you out.
That's awesome.
It is awesome. I think it's huge.
We're going to reach out to him.
Matthew Dimer, who's running for U.S. Congress in Ohio, says, I'm running for Congress to make sure we get crypto advocates in D.C.
Boom. There you go.
And he goes, where's Matt?
What's his name? Matt Dimer?
Yeah, Matt Dimer. Let's see here. Let me see here. Matt Dimer. Democrat running for Congress in the 13th district
in Ohio.
Ohio.
Nice. You can be up there with Warren Davidson. Perfect.
Yeah, good luck on that. Let's see. Pack protocol. Someone had to slip the pack protocol in there. Let me know how I can help. Can you explain back a little? Let's see. Love you. Shut up and take my money. New bill, America completes out. Okay, there we go. America's funniest show to watch. Always something amazing happens every season. What the heck is it? What's he responding to? What the? I mean, Moises.
America is the funniest show to watch.
America. Just some dude, Mosey Marks.
Yeah.
I'm Mosey. What's up, Mosey? I bet you Mosey be a lot of fun to hang out and drink some beer with. I would under the condition you expose, like there. Oh yeah. Yes, definitely. I definitely like that very much. $1 billion. I want 188 holder to be a millionaire, and on and on and on. So there you go.
Is that the testnet peen? What is that? Go back.
That doesn't look right, does it, Jeff?
Testnet. Is that peen or is that the moonshot? Oh, that's the moonshot. Wait,
it's the moonshot. But I thought the moon was taking a bathroom break there.
Great. Yeah, it's kind of like the Calvin and Hobbes. He's over there. They have it. You see it on the back of Chevy trucks or something, peeing on the Ford logo.
Yeah, maybe if that was a red logo, it might have looked better. Yeah, everyone's talking about that America Competes Act of 2022. It's handing a blank treasury. So, listen, people are there, and there's somebody just threw in their new profile pic. Thanks. Hey, here's my new profile pic into a very serious discussion about a political action committee.
Throw it in there just in case.
So anyway, that's what's going on there. That's interesting.
SEC
Jeff.
Stealing everyone's money.
Everybody's currency, Jeff. It's all currency, Jeff.
Man, it's good stuff.
And then we had this from let's pull out these two here. We had this from Monica Long here from Ripple. Let her rip. Yeah, so it was this tweet here she was commenting on the RippleX one here. RippleX put this tweet out and said, it's a multi-chain world after all. We're excited to support Allbridge.io and bring millions of DeFi users to the XRP ledger. Allbridge is adding the support for XRP ledger. There you go, right there. And Monica said, the XRPL, with its native DEX, decentralized exchange functionality, allows digital assets like Luna, Solana, USDC to trade seamlessly cross-chain thanks to bridges like Allbridge.io. What do you think about that, Jeff?
I like it.
And let's go ahead and read this here. This was their Medium post that they put up. Okay, there you go. Allbridge is adding the support. And you've got Allbridge cross-chain bridge with more than 500 million in total value locked, integrating into the XRP ledger, the 12th blockchain, allowing for the seamless transfer of its native digital assets, XRP, across Ethereum, Avalanche, Solana, Terra, Polygon, Phantom. Phantom is interesting. Checking this out. Phantom is a very interesting blockchain, Jeff. Binance Smart Chain.
Phantom wallet.
Yeah, Phantom is yes, is pretty interesting, man. I've been looking at a lot of Phantom stuff. Aurora, Harmony, and Hiko. Integration will also bring assets such as AVAX, Sol, Luna, Matic, as well as USDT and la. So yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Allbridge. I like the name too. It's
because it bridges everything. It bridges all.
Bridges everything. Jeff. Bridges all.
Simple, modern, reliable way
for all. I like
to
it.
Transfer assets between different networks. To date, over 4.8 billion in transactions have been processed in the cross-play.
It's massive.
So what I wonder about though is what are the fees for the cross-chain unique opportunity to add support XRP ledger, enabling millions of DeFi users to interact with the XRP ecosystem. Allbridge will provide bridging solutions to make it possible, and Ripple the tech support. Together, we contribute to the growing cross-chain interoperability within the DeFi space, and tell us a little bit of history about it. Yeah.
Ripple tells us
so there you
what that
go.
is. That's really cool. Yeah, I like these projects. I like the direction things are moving in. It's amazing, and it kind of reminds me of this. This, as you know, is Brad Garlinghouse.
Yes, it is.
That's it. No.
That's
So,
it.
yeah, that's it. That's the Ripple logo. It's not an XRP logo. We're all those media people out there. That's
Okay, Jeff.
Ripple. XRP looks different. No, so the Ripple CEO comes out. He says he won't apologize for taking on the SEC, but to be fair, said the SEC declared war on Ripple. We're defending ourselves. Now, he has some really good statements in here. Obviously, we covered yesterday how they bought back a huge chunk of shares, around 15 billion. And he sees that as something extremely, extremely positive. The company, obviously, we know in the lawsuit, Ripple, it says here, obviously, the lawsuit, they accuse them of raising 1.3 billion in unregistered digital asset securities. As we know, they've referenced it. Also, Garlinghouse discusses this whole Wild West portrayal, and he says that crypto critics are actually wrong by calling it the Wild West, which is great. Here he gets into why buy back shares, but I was really more interested in this part, which is the whole SEC component. And so here, I found it interesting. You're still in a battle with the SEC. How do you see the regulatory challenges unfolding this year? And, I really thought that this is, he had some really important statements here. One, he said, take a step back. Let's look at it from 100,000 feet.
Right.
And this is really key. Regulatory climate globally has actually trended extremely positively over the last 5 years. You see the trend line for most major markets recognizes that digital assets can and will play a role in the future financial system, and that's to the benefit of consumers, the benefit of businesses, and benefit of even governments, right? So that's a big statement. All right. Then he says, okay, let's look at it at a very high level. And then he says, okay, the UK, Switzerland, Japan, and Singapore have all provided very constructive frameworks. And he says here, obviously, it's disappointing and frustrating as a U.S. company to find ourselves where we are, right? And so he's really looking at this from a good perspective. The SEC continues, in my judgment, to drag its feet. It just feels like there's a certain hypocrisy since the SEC is continuing to note that justice delayed is justice denied, right?
Yeah,
And
right
so,
on.
you're right, but they're seeking delays all the time. What Ripple seeks is clarity, right? So they want clarity, just like everybody else. They want a level playing field. This is so, pertinent. The U.S. government and the regulators of the U.S. government should not be picking winners and picking losers. This guy's spot on.
No, he's absolutely spot on. I mean, everything he's saying right there is really good. Look at this here, Jeff. So here's Mark Phillips. He says if the ETH mafia gets hauled in front of Congress to explain why they were trying to create a monopoly with Wall Street, does Bill Hinman have to give back the $15 million? Yeah. Inquiring minds want to know, Jeff. It's a good observation there, Mark.
That's
right.
Right.
I would think, well, so much stuff dirt has been uncovered on crypto Twitter. I mean, videos and speeches, and it's all recorded there for the masses, and the attorneys for Ripple are very thankful as they probably been
keep dredging it up.
Keep dredging it up.
Yeah. So let me just end with this part. I thought, there's a lot more in here, but this I thought was great. The SEC declared war on Ripple. Are we being combative? I don't know. We're trying to defend ourselves, right? So I like that part. Are we being combative? I don't know. And then he gets here. The SEC's dragging its feet. We got sued. You'd think that if they sued us, they'd have all their ducks in a row. Right. And they're the ones dragging their feet. Of course I'm going to be combative. So,
damn right.
I like how he started off. Are we being combative?
Garlinghouse.
I don't know. We're trying to defend ourselves. Then the end. Look what the hell they're doing. Of course we're going to be combative. What do you think we're going to do?
Well, we got throat punched several times, but he's supposed to be sorry. Look at this. This is nailing it right there. Alchemist says, take Tom Emmer's cue. Quit making it a divisive partisan issue. ID10Ts, idiots. Yeah, that's spot on. Yeah, it's not a partisan issue. It's like people are like, well, left and right. Who cares, man? I mean, the bottom line is it's freedom for the people, and it's not just a U.S. thing. It's a global thing. But the centralization always creeps in, Jeff, and it always just seems to crush the throats of everybody because, absolute power corrupts absolutely. It's kind of what you just said.
Yep. Man, that was spot on. That was great.
This one here is another one here. This one here is from Captain Redbeard, although I don't see a Redbeard in that picture. But okay, it says, our decentralized platforms are protected under the Fourth Amendment. They want to drag out clarity because they know there's nothing they can do with the decentralized nature of Web 3.0 ecosystems. I like that. And that's exactly right. And that's really, you go from Web 2.0, which is the big company, big tech, to 3.0, which is us. We just basically, it's called cutting out the middleman, middlewoman, whatever you want to say to be politically correct there, Jeff. But bottom line is Web 3.0 is going to be massive just because it's bringing it all down to our level. And on the same course of that is decentralization, which is freedom.
That's right. So check out this one's from Firdaus bin Abid Mutalib.
Say that 4 times fast.
He said the SEC filed the lawsuit, but they act as if they're the ones being sued.
True.
That's true. So true. And they keep asking for delays and all. I mean, you can't make this up. Again, this is why we're in like opposite day.
2.5 years.
Everything is opposite.
Of discovery. Like, we need more discovery. What happened? Oh gosh, I got a hangnail. You know how those are. Got to clip it. It's going to take 2 months before I attend to that. And they're right. They don't have anything in order.
Gary Gensler's dog ate their paperwork.
Well, they spent all this
homework.
Well, supposedly they spent all this time passing that Bill Himmons speech around, like 60 or 70 people. But I don't think too many people, because there was such a rush for Clayton to get out before the door hit him with, on the behind as he was running out the door. And it's horribly pathetically written. And 80 pages of, adjectives and accusations, no fraud alleged. I mean, it's just insane.
Yeah, it's amazing. Amazing. The SEC, by asking for delays, are showing their true hand. Delay. The delay tactic.
But they don't, I mean, when you talk about decentralization, you start talking about why the coin's decentralized, they're just never going to win that. It's done. And for whatever they want to try to go back to 2015 or 2013 and prove, I don't really care. What I really care about is that today's XRP in its current form is a decentralized digital asset that has utility, that has value, and there's nothing you can say or do that would deter me from that. And I don't really know what else really matters.
That's right. That's right. And as XRP Panic just said, Gary has pissed a lot of people off. I don't think he's ever leaving his living room. And there's probably a good chance of that.
But it's not just, the funny thing is, it's not just limited to crypto. It's Wall Street. It's pretty much everything he's got his toe dipped in that is not appreciating any of it. That's kind of what it came down to.
That's it.
Here I found it, Jeff. This was Jake Chervinsky, our old pal from the Blockchain Association.
Oh yeah, buddy.
The other one. I was trying to look for this tweet earlier, but he says, "Oh, hang on a second. I'm basically playing these out of sync here. He had another one that I can get to, but so Jake commented. He made an interesting comment on Jerry Brito's comment here. He said, this one we went through this whole thread. He said Jerry's not an alarmist by nature. Quite the opposite. When he uses double sirens in all caps, it's time to pay attention. Read this and stay tuned. Now let's look at this. This was 10 hours ago, Jeff. And then a few hours later, he puts this one out. It was a busy but productive day after a few good conversations. I'm optimistic that today's legislative session will end up fine. Don't lose any sleep over it tonight. So what changed? You go from doom and gloom to, Jerry's using all caps. He's not usually an alarmist. Listen, man, you work for the Blockchain Association. This is some serious. An alarmist, unchecked power, can just go after anybody they want. But then this. It's busy, productive, but a few good conversations. Everything is just, it's back to unicorns and rainbows, Jeff, just like that.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Don't lose sleep tonight over it.
Go back to sleep.
I mean, you got nothing at risk, right? You don't have a whole crypto portfolio. Don't worry about it. I mean, it's been all downhill since then, but don't worry about it. Go back to sleep. Don't be a silly nilly.
Yep, so check this out, Chip. There's two interesting things here. One is that Bank of America is saying U.S. digital currency is inevitable. Inevitable.
Oh, is it?
And this comes from a partner of previous partner or current partner of Ripple with RippleNet.
I believe they're right, Jeff.
You know, I think they're still working, and it probably is inevitable. The Federal Reserve issued its finding of the study evaluating all the pros, cons. The central bank requested public comment, blah, 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 whatever. But here they're saying the first U.S. digital dollar could be issued between 2025 and 2030. So we got a couple years to worry about that. And then
it could be sooner than that.
Could be sooner. Then you fast forward all the way to Florida's Office of Financial Regulation. They issue a warning about DeFi. Now, you would look at this and you'd say, wow, they're issuing a warning about DeFi, right? And you would think it's like opposite day like everybody else, because now they're going to be like the Treasury Secretary and give all this unchecked power. But instead, the U.S. state regulatory body emphasized the DeFi investment market is still new, highly volatile, and driven mostly by psychological factors. Florida's Office of Financial Regulation has issued a warning about decentralized finance-based companies that offer lending, banking, and investment services. They're cautioning the public that before using a DeFi-based service, it's important to do the necessary due diligence and understand what DeFi is in order to avoid becoming the victim of a scam. Now, I look at that, I say, you know what? It is risky. There is some volatility. There are potential scams out there. The opposite is when you look at Gary Gensler and those guys, they wouldn't say before you invest, they'd say, don't invest. It's only used for nefarious purposes. Anybody who participates in DeFi is going to be a victim of scam. You know, and here it's different. The state regulatory body warns that the investment market is still new, highly volatile, driven by psychological factors rather than investment fundamentals, which to a point could be true. DeFi, one of the fastest, largest growing, and whatever, scams, rug pulls, exploits, fatal code errors are among the biggest risks. The OFR defines DeFi as financial services provided by algorithm on a blockchain. But again, but I just thought it was interesting for them to, take reasonable steps to understand the risk of this emerging blockchain-based technology and market. They're very, very cautious on this, but cautiously optimistic, because look at this, to understand the risks of this emerging blockchain-based technology. Again, you listen to Daddy G and it's just doom and gloom, and they want to crush it. You listen to, what was that guy's name? James Himes.
The senator from Connecticut.
They want to destroy it. They want to give it the power to the Treasury Secretary to destroy it. And here in Florida, they're like, hey, we get it. It's new. Let's understand it first. And what a difference of approach. Really different.
Yeah, I agree with that. So this one here, I'm going to go in this quickly, but Ex-Goldman Sachs banker launches crypto app after a $33 million raise. This is Adam Dell. He's the brother of billionaire Michael Dell, of Dell Computers, pinched an impressive team to help get the project started. The former head of product for Marcus by Goldman Sachs launched a crypto investing app called Domain Money, raised $33 million. Other staffers he assembled a team of 25 staff members from Goldman Sachs. Other staffers are leaving their roles at Bridgewater, Morgan Stanley, Coinbase Global, BlockFi, So this is interesting, Jeff. So, it's funny how a lot of people are jumping ship from the big bank and they're going over to crypto because they kind of see that there's an opportunity over there. And then I wanted to play this because this is two random things, but I like this here. But I'm going to play this little bit, and this says a lot right here. So let's go into, let me go ahead and, I got to do this to play the audio. Let me make sure that the audio is turned up, and it is. So this is Bitfinexed put this tweet out. It says, tell us your BS scam exchange is listing the Tether fraud while knowing Tether to be a fraud without telling us that you're listing the Tether fraud. Run Don't walk away from Adam Dell's domain money. Tether is that indefensible. So let's watch this little exchange here. This is fun. So there's the setup.
Yeah, so there's a number of different assets on the platform, and that number is growing daily.
Stablecoins specifically?
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
Well, I'll defer to that one for our team. But what?
Oh my God! Copyright strike.
Anyway, that's Bitfinexed, and they put that out. But again, I mean, you expect somebody to have it all together in the first run. I mean, the first shot. The thing is, assembling a team, putting something together, and of course, you might have a gotcha question here and there. So I don't know. The whole thing to me is like talking about a stable coin. So I don't know. I think we're gonna have to let this one a little bit develop a little bit to see what's really going on there, Jeff.
I think so.
Yeah, we'll have
The
to see what's going on there.
stability of the stable coin.
They're stable coins. Look at this right here. Check this out. So you had this. This is one of your favorite guys because you love saying his name, Sam Bankman-Fried. So Solana FTX CEO defends Solana against criticisms of its network performance, and there he is right there. And of course, this is done by.
Hang on. No.
Okay, no. Don't, no, that's a hell of an interruption.
Hang on there.
Oh, hang on. Wait, whoa. Who's the co-founder of CEO of crypto exchange FTX? Publicly defended Layer 1 blockchain Solana against criticisms of the weekend's network performance issues. While the Solana network hasn't experienced the full outage since September's extended downtime, don't think about that, Jeff. It hasn't exactly been smooth sailing the last few months for the rising Layer 1 blockchain. So he's coming to the defense, which I find to be good because as somebody who's running an exchange, you're for all crypto succeeding. You're not going to sit there and pick winners and losers. So, I totally get why Sam Bankman-Fried would do that. You got is Gensler going to
that as a question? Should the SEC pick winners and losers?
They're going to, Jeff. So,
I taught at MIT.
MIT.
Taught at MIT. Let me explain it to you.
MIT.
Let me explain it to you. Say.
Yeah. See. Look at this right here. This total. This story right here totally blows away anything we heard. Putin says Russia has competitive advantages in Bitcoin mining. Central bank.
They do.
Yeah, they do. The central bank last week said that Bitcoin mining should be banned, but President Putin seems to think Russia could do well mining the cryptocurrency. So, who is it a threat to? Who is Bitcoin the biggest threat to? Let's see. Let's do that right there. And it was like, and in some of the articles, it made it seem as though Russia's getting ready to ban Bitcoin. It was a central bank which has no pull at all. That's a serious look right there, Jeff.
Yeah, that guy's serious. He's the last of the alpha leaders. You realize that?
He absolutely is. Well, no, there's no, that's not true. That is not true.
There's Gary Gensler, MIT.
That is not true. I'll tell you. There's Bukele. No, there's Bukele down in he's not taking anything, right? I would think that and then let's see who else there is. Duda from Poland. Let's say I put him in that category as well. So there you go. There you go, Jeff. And then his comments came a day after the government's finance ministry said it would be necessary to allow these technologies to develop and that a cryptocurrency ban was not necessary. Last week's Russia's central bank, we already talked about that. As for cryptocurrencies, central bank has its own position. It's related to the fact that according to experts of the central bank, the expansion of this type of activity carries certain risks. And above all, what the risk is to the central bank. Risk is not to the people. So there you go.
Power is in the hands of the people.
Cryptocurrency mining, the Russian Bitcoin miners provide more than 10% of the computing power to the Bitcoin network, but the country's authorities have repeatedly talked about restrictions on the industry. China at one point hosted the majority, but then they banned it and everybody bailed. President Putin added today he wanted the Russian government and the central bank to talk about the issue and reach a consensus on the issue. See that? Come on, you knuckleheads. Put you in a room. Talk about it.
It's interesting.
I'll be breaking some skulls.
Trying to do it since 2019.
Yeah, the Russian government reportedly been eyeing it up as a way to sidestep U.S. sanctions, at least since 2019. So there you go.
I don't know if Bitcoin is going to be the way, but it's there's stuff for them to do.
There shouldn't be banning. Don't even banning anything. I mean, nobody should be giving unchecked power to unelected officials. That's not a good thing either. I mean, there's a lot of worrisome stuff out there as it happens. So
yeah.
And then there's this glorious headline right here, Jeff, that nobody wants to hear. But this one is Ripple and XRP holders might be in a lawsuit until 2023. No, that's gone.
It's possible. Check. I like this one. Preparing for war. Did you guys mention the Competes Act?
We did.
It will kill crypto.
Rewind to the beginning. We broke it.
Tell them to kill the bill.
Yeah. Rewind to the beginning. We broke it all down, and we went heavy into the Competes Act. We said it was the Not Competes Act because that's exactly what it would be. The Not America Competes. It would be the America Non-Competes, where they would be unable, hamstrung, and not able to compete, and it would be just horrible, Jeff.
The non-competitive American last bill. There you go. Preparing for war, Chip.
And as many people, there you go. Boom, there's a speedboat. Bammers.
Speedboat. Before Google, there was Cliff
Clavin. The early Mesopotamians, they used to pull the roots out of the water, and then they used to eat them. Cliff Clavin from, Jeff, do you remember what show?
Cheers.
It's where everybody knows your name, Jeff.
USPS worker.
You could ask him any question. He always knew something. He was America's postman. He knew the answer. He did it well. he represented.
Check out Sophie. Another great show by Chip and Jeff and the whole OTC crowd 6 days a week. Smartest people in crypto visit here. Night, all you geniuses.
And look at those geniuses. Yeah, they are geniuses. Look at this right here. So we've got another channel. If you guys are listening in and you're like getting ready to bail, before you do that, I ask a favor, Jeff and I have of you. Go ahead and click that link that I just pasted in there and subscribe to our other channel. It's really easy. You click the subscribe button. You click that bell notifier right there, and that's how easy it is. And what we do is we take excerpts, some of the best clips. They're anywhere from let's see, what are these? Yeah, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 8 minutes. Just some short blips of the show, or maybe you want to watch a rewatch, or you didn't watch the show. You'll get one of the best bits, and this is put together by Hans Loaded, the OTC producer, who's been putting these out, doing an amazing job with that.
Doing a great job, Hans Loaded.
And I want to call your attention to onthechain.io. Onthechain.io right there is a fun website you can go hang out on. It has all of our stuff there. There's a way to support us. We don't do Patreons, but there's a way directly to support us on our website. And there's a way to sign up for free too. You just scroll at the bottom there and boom, you join the OTC family. You get an email after the show concludes, has links to all the shows and all that. And then also has the podcast where you go listen to it. If you want to subscribe there, we also highly recommend that. Sometimes you don't get a chance to you don't necessarily have to watch us. Well, sometimes we do. We play a video, but you can do that as well. And one last thing, on the chain shop, and this is where you can go buy some cool on the chain gear,
on the chain merch.
There's some merch right there, so you can buy some cool stuff like the Ripple Strikes Back shirt, front and back, comes in a variety of different colors. There's the XRP, can't be 100% sure, but I think it's Magic shirt,
my favorite shirt.
That's a good one too, and it comes all in cool different colors. You can get them on a lot of different things, hoodies, and even women's stuff, not that big baggy guys cut. Yeah, all kinds of stuff, man.
Sweet. Then
there's this one right here, the On the Chain crew, which you can get, the Moon Mission. Here's a little bit better shot of it. Established in 2021. Moon Mission. And all kinds of good stuff. You can go there. So you guys check that out. onthechain.shop. You can go there and check out some stuff. And
hey, and just as
quality stuff.
Just as a reminder, we do stream 6 days a week, as Sophie was mentioning, Sunday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can always see that on the website, onthechain.io, which is really great. And then right here, as Hans Loaded is saying, if you guys want to get into and sit amongst a good group of people over there dissecting and talking about some interesting crypto projects and crypto assets, go check it out over on Berserker for Crypto Night Live over there.
Right
number
on.
26. Not sure if that's the number of the show or that's just part of the channel.
I think it's the number of the show.
20.
Yeah.
Might be the number right there, but check out that link. Go hang out over there. I know Hans Load will be there, Darcy will be there, and a bunch of other people. So with that,
I think Ani's mostly on it. But
yeah, I think so too. Yeah,
there we go.
And that's it. That's what we got over here. We'll be back again tomorrow. I can't believe it's Wednesday. That means tomorrow is Thursday. How crazy is that?
It's crazy. And that's all we have. Chip and Jeff out. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Look at that. Show always sounds better when I'm wearing my OTC hoodie. Rob McDermott.
Of course it does, Rob. Thanks for that plug. Appreciate it. And here we go. Bam.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.